All right, so it was reported earlier today that the Warriors are shipping James Wiseman, presumably to get a better player as of now, maybe even a star, to pair with their core of Curry, Clay, and Draymond. So I think this makes sense, especially as you have Steph is 33. He's going to turn 34 before the playoffs next year. Clay Thompson is 31. Draymond is 31. So your core is getting older, which means your championship window is decreasing by a lot. So you need more. You need another star, obviously, to get into a championship level team. And James Wiseman, who was their top pick last year, second overall pick, he showed like some flashes, but overall he was really bad last year. Especially if you look at the advanced stats, his hands were just terrible. He was awful defensively, and he still has a ton of potential. I think he's really athletic. He has shooting capabilities, and he has the physical traits you'd want in an ideal center, but he's not what the Warriors need right now. They don't need a guy who could potentially be great 2 to 3 years from now. They need a guy who can contribute right now, which James Wiseman just isn't. So moving him for a star makes the most sense. So our first trade here is going to be a Bradley Beal trade. Obviously, Bradley Beal, he's always kind of been in trade rumors since John Wall got hurt. The Wizards team has been pretty bad. They managed to make the playoffs this year, um, thanks to Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, but they didn't really do anything against the Sixers. I think they won one game. So it's possible that Bradley Beal might want out, and I think he'd be great with the Warriors. He'd make them absolutely unstoppable offensively. You have three elite perimeter threats, two guys who can average 30 points per game, and then another guy, elite 3-and-D player who you can't leave open in Klay Thompson. Draymond can do his thing, run the offense. So in terms of pieces, we have Bradley Beal to the Warriors, obviously. Then we have Wiggins and Wiseman to the Wizards, along with both of their first-round picks this year. 2023 first-round pick. Is it? Yeah, 2023 first-round pick. And then you probably throw in Eric Pascal as well, just another piece. So yeah, here's the deal. So for the Wizards, of course, you're probably looking to rebuild now and build around your core of James Wiseman, whoever you pick at 7 and 14. You have Denny Avdija, Rui Hachimura, Thomas Bryant. You have a ton of young pieces who can become good players eventually. You'll see what happens with Russell Westbrook. Maybe you want to trade him. Maybe you just want to go into a full rebuild. But I think this is a pretty good offer for Bradley Beal. I think the Wizards actually might want some more than this. I think this is slightly undervaluing them, but it all depends on how much they value James Wiseman as a player. And honestly, they could even say, hey, we have Daniel Gafford and Thomas Bryant, who are two quality centers. We'd rather not. We'd rather get another young piece than James Wiseman. Of course, they're still getting Andrew Wiggins here, who is pretty solid. He had a really good season last year with the Warriors as a good 3-and-D player with some offensive potential. Eric Pascal was pretty good in the 1920 season, but I think he was really bad last year. But maybe you think you can salvage him. You're getting 2 lottery picks this year, and you're getting an unprotected pick in 2023. You might want to ask for another first, but this is just the baseline of this trade. All right, let's go on to our next trade. Undo all this. Let's do the Raptors now. So this trade is going to be for Pascal Siakam. So Pascal Siakam was in the report that stated that the Warriors were shipping Wiseman. I think it said that Pascal Siakam was one of the people who they might consider trading for. And I think this definitely makes some sense, although it's possible. Although I'm a little skeptical, but I think overall it's good. You're getting Pascal Siakam, who was an All-Star in the 1920 season, All-Star starter, I believe. Actually, he was really, really good for that team. He regressed last year, but the entire Raptors team was just kind of was bad last year. They had a bunch of COVID stuff, a bunch of injuries. They had to play down in Tampa Bay, so you don't know how much that played with it. But he can be a really great role partner for Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. He can be just a good scorer on his own, and especially with that development staff, you might you think you might be able to bring him to it, an all-star, all-NBA caliber player again. As for the Raptors, you're getting James Wiseman, who you think you can salvage. Sorry, especially because the Raptors have one of the best developmental staffs in the league. A guy with James Wiseman's physical traits. You think if you bring him to a situation such as the Raptors situation, then he can definitely develop into becoming a very good player. You're still getting 2 lottery picks who could become something. You're getting Andrew Wiggins, who's mainly in there for the contract, but he can still provide you with some solid play, and you can run out next year with the lineup of Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry maybe, or Malachi Flynn. You have Andrew Wiggins and OG Anunoby at the wing, and then you have James Wiseman down low, or Chris Boucher if James Wiseman still needs to develop. That team could be solid. I could see that team getting into the 8th seed, or not even the 8th seed, getting into like 5 seed maybe, especially with Nick Nurse as their coach, and with both of these lottery picks. So yeah, that's this move. Now let's move on to our next move. Just undo all this. Now let's go to the Indiana Pacers. So the Pacers, late in the season, kind of fell apart almost. You had reports that their coach Nate Bjorken was bad, or not was bad, but was really hard on his players and stuff. So you might want to go into full rebuilding mode if you're the Pacers. So in that case, I heard they're shipping Malcolm Brogdon, Domantas Sabonis, those two mainly, and Miles Turner. Those 3 guys I think could definitely be traded this postseason. Maybe even T.J. Warren, especially like T.J. Warren and Malcolm Brogdon for Ben Simmons, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So this trade I think is going to be for Domantas Sabonis. Trade him to the Warriors. We bring Wiseman to the Pacers, and Kelly Oubre sign and trade, along with the 7th overall pick and the 14th. Oops. So this trade, this is a popular trade that I've seen, but personally, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. If you're the Warriors, you're running out a lineup of Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Sabonis, and Draymond. That has some potential, but I'm just unsure about the fit of Sabonis, especially because he's a guy who can create his own offense, and what the Warriors really need in a big is just a good rim runner. So you wonder if maybe that just won't gel with their system. However, Sabonis is a really good passer out of the post and even out of the elbow, so you could definitely give him to the elbow. You could definitely give the ball to him at the elbow and have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson run some off-ball action and have Sabonis find them. But that's also a role that Draymond Green plays. So you wonder how Sabonis and Draymond Green will gel. But either way, you're still adding an all-star to this team, which you want. And as for the Pacers, if you're trading Domantas Sabonis, you're getting 2 first-round picks, 2 lottery first-round picks, and in a really deep draft class, those are really good picks. You're getting James Wiseman, who has a ton of potential. Maybe he can develop under Rick Carlisle, develop a skilled offensive game, and Kelly Oubre, who's Kelly Oubre can be solid. I think he was overall last year. He was pretty good with the Warriors, but like he started out the year shooting terribly from 3. And never really picked it up, but he's still a solid scorer, I think. You wonder how he'll fit with maybe Karis LeVert as 2 ball-dominant scorers, but we'll see. We'll see. I think this is pretty decent value for Sabonis. All right. Next trade. Now let's go to the... Where are they? Let's go to the San Antonio Spurs. No. Let's go to the Portland Trailblazers. Okay. So there have been reports saying that if the Warriors have a good enough package, maybe they can get Dame. Personally, I think that'd be interesting. So that's what I'm going to explore now. We're going to give Dame to the Warriors. We're going to have James Wiseman to the Blazers, Andrew Wiggins to the Blazers, and Kelly Oubre to the Blazers. You're obviously giving them 7 and 14. You're giving them your 2023 first and your 2025 first, and probably your 2027 first. Although for 2027, we can make this one lottery protected. Alright. Oop, failed. Okay, we have to adjust the trade. We have to cut 16. Why the heck is freaking Zach Collins there? Okay, well, I mean, Zach Collins is a free agent, so maybe you can just sign and trade him. I don't think he has too much value, but anyway, for the Warriors, you're getting Damian Lillard, who this is obviously just a straight up offense move. But I don't think that's too terrible. I think Damian Lillard is a fine defender. He's not the worst defender in the league, but he's not a good defender. You can just plug him in. But anyway, you're getting the two best shooters in the game currently, in my opinion. Klay Thompson, we haven't seen him play in 2 years, but Dame Lillard, these are two guys who can pull up from half court and make it on a regular basis. So, and this would be unstoppable. You can't guard either of them. It would just be absolutely terrible to defend against. Yeah, I mean, it would make this team unstoppable offensively, which I think is what the Warriors want. In order to contend, you still have Klay Thompson, all-star Draymond Green, a great team defender. Maybe you have Kevon Looney, or you get another center who can be serviceable, be a decent rim runner. And for the Blazers side of things, I don't think this is the best offer you can get for Dame, but I think it's certainly an offer. Wow, of course it's an offer, jeez. Okay. So you're getting the 7th pick this year and the 14th pick. And with how deep this draft class is, you could definitely turn both of those into really good players. And then you're getting 3 more first-round picks. You hope that in the later years, like 2025, maybe Lillard, maybe Curry, Thompson, Draymond have moved on, and they're not and they've retired maybe, and the team is kind of bottom feeders, and those could be high picks. Which is why I'm kind of hesitating on this lottery protected first. I think I might just make that top 5 protected or top 3 protected, but whatever. You're getting James Wiseman, who is still an elite prospect. He was really bad last year, but he could definitely develop. I think the Blazers hired Chauncey Billups, who I have no idea what he'll do as a coach. He had some interesting off the court allegations and stuff brought up to him. But yeah, James Wiseman, you hope you can develop him. Andrew Wiggins, maybe he can be a solid contributor. You might just want to flip Wiggins for some picks, or Wiggins for some young assets to a more contending team, especially if you're rebuilding, because maybe you just don't want him to be your tank commander. But he still has he's still a positive player. Kelly Oubre, maybe he can be your tank commander if you trade CJ. And the reason, and I know some people are questioning this fit because of Nurkic, but based on like Nurkic's declining play and stuff, and his contract is expiring decently soon. I think he's expiring next year. I'm not sure, especially if James Wiseman turns out to be solid next year. I'm not sure that the Blazers are going to bring him back over James Wiseman. So yeah, those were 4 James Wiseman trade ideas. I don't want to call them super realistic because they aren't, but those are 4 James Wiseman trade ideas. Let me know your opinions in the comments, and if you have any modifications you want to make to my trades, or if you have any other ideas you want to make. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.